In this episode, I'm going to walk you through the exact marketing system we are using to be able to sell over $52 million a year of coaching programs. This is the system that we're using with our partners, so you can set up after watching this episode to have a predictable and repeatable system for signing on 5 to 20 and even more new clients every month, and doing it without being frustrated because you're doing everything right and still struggling to grow, without having to post more content, without you needing more followers, without you having to waste more money on business coaches, masterminds, or agencies, and all while being able to sleep really well because leads are pouring in and your bottom line is growing. But first, you really should know, I personally made my fortune with coaching, but I barely passed high school. I had no formal training in writing or advertising. I was in a special needs class in primary school, and I have no special expertise. I can barely figure the tech stuff out myself. I suppose I'm woefully unqualified for this business, but I doubt I could even get a job at a marketing agency or company. Yet I have successfully sold my last multi-7 coaching business, and now this year our partner portfolio will sell over $52 million a year of coaching programs, and I'll personally profit a few mil myself. So whether you're in startup mode and you want to get to $30, $40, $50,000 a month, or you're more seasoned and you want to get to $100, $250, $500,000 a month or more, this is going to be for you. Because the only question you as a coach and as a business owner that you need to answer right now is going to be, what is the best way for you to get new clients, keep them paying you more and for longer? And that's exactly what I want to walk you through right now. And I know that is a very bold promise, but stick with me to the end and I'm going to show you why I'm so confident in actually saying that. Because in this episode, in this report, I want to break down the two major components that we use to rapidly scale 6, 7, and 8-figure coaching businesses. The first one is the $1 million roadmap. And I'm going to walk you through our 3-stage roadmap, which shows you the process that we use growing a coaching business from $10,000 a month to $10,000 a week to $10,000 a day and beyond. But the second part is the 8-figure RMAS method. Now, you're going to see the 6 most important playbooks that we use to generate leads and be able to drive sales. And the real truth is why your marketing and funnels aren't working for you right now, because if I had to take a stab in the dark, I know you're busting your ass. I know you're doing everything that you're told and you're still watching your income flatline. And if you're knee deep in webinars, challenges, VSLs, book funnels, trying to post more on social media, and leads are still as scarce as hen's teeth, the problem with so many of those tactics is they involve a lot of upfront work, they're tech heavy, require large budgets, they're oversaturated because every Tom, Dick, and Harry is trying to do the same thing. And guess what? They don't even guarantee a damn thing. So the cold hard truth why you and many like you are stumbling into the same brick wall every month is because we are smack dab in the middle of a trust crisis. Skepticism is at a sky high. Everyone and their grandmother is peddling information and coaching, and competition is highest it's ever been. So those strategy sessions, webinars, Facebook groups, Instagram posts, DM ads that you're trying to run that aren't working, it's a reason why they're not working. And they're about as effective as a screen door on a submarine right now. See, I've clocked over 220 hours consulting 6, 7, and 8-figure coaches in the last year, and they've all had the same problem. And it finally dawned on me that all these coaches are having this problem because they're not building trust fast enough. So wouldn't you agree, if you had a system that could build trust and be able to get you seen as the person that actually solve your clients' problems, that they would be able to sign on with you? But one of the problems stopping you from having that flow of new clients is you're probably still trying to do it the old way. Because if you're seeing high cost per leads, high no-shows to sales calls, conversion rates getting lower and lower, and you just finding it harder to sign on new clients, the magic bullet to that is the 7-11-4 rule. See, Google's deep dive into billions of data points showed that it takes 11 hours of consumption over 11 touch points across 4 different platforms to turn a lead into a client. And that's why we've crafted the RMAS method, so you can ramp up exposure, be able to get more consumption of your content to build trust and then skyrocket your sales. And the answer is not just one funnel. You're not one funnel away, but it's a matrix of 6 key playbooks that bring together a clockwork process to bring in new clients. And the evidence is in the proof itself. One partner posted that they're doing over $1 million of profit every single quarter. Yes, every 90 days, there's another $1 million in his personal bank account. Then another coach used this system for over $100,000 cash collected and increased their MRR by $35,000 in less than 7 days of starting. Plus, it's working for new coaches with one partner that was able to do over $50,000 of new clients, to another coach that was able to do $566,000 of sales in less than 30 days. So yes, our system works. But before I show you exactly what it is that this no-brainer of an offer is that you'll likely kick yourself if you passed up, you need to know that there are 4 challenges that are stalling, maybe even killing your sales and revenue growth. See, after nearly 2 decades in the coaching industry and building a successful coaching company, selling it, and racking up over 220 hours consulting with 6, 7, and 8-figure coaches, I've pinpointed 4 major roadblocks. These are the 4 most common things that you could be saying right now. And the first most common challenge, and something that you could be saying, is I've already got a business coach or a mastermind that you're a part of. And I get it. You've got a coach, maybe even a mastermind, but let me ask you this. If they were the magic bullet, why are you here watching this? You'd be on a yacht, lounging off the coast of Croatia, perfecting your suntan, but you're not. You're seeking solutions. And our edge is we don't just talk the talk. We're in the trenches every single day, actually building coaching businesses. So sure, coaches and masterminds, they're great, but they often come with a catch. Watered down coaching that's one size fits all advice, endless content that has little specificity and no hands-on actual insights to help you do what it is that you need to do. The second most common challenge, and something you might be saying, is, well, I already have a team doing my marketing, which in theory sounds good, but unless you've got the right systems and strategies locked down, you're shouldering that hefty burden of recruitment, training, and management, which really gives you more headaches, not less. Instead of delegating and focusing on growth, you're probably in the weeds juggling multiple team members and managing their tasks. Now, if you've hired an ad agency to do your marketing ads, the lure of an agency seems like a dream, but until you've found yourself another casualty of that cookie cutter approach, you usually end up with junior staff on your accounts, a diluted strategy, and less than stellar results. Because if you're relying on organic marketing, it can feel like that you're at the mercy of being the dancing bear in the social media algorithms, and building an ad selling system that can give you that peace of mind is really important. Or if you're saying right now, I'm not 100% sure on what I need to do to actually speed up my sales and growth, I know that's why you're here right now. But I also have a pretty good spidey sense that you've got a voice in the back of your head about a little skepticism that's holding you back from booking a demo call. What if it's just more of the same? Why is this actually different? You're probably asking yourself. So know this. First, if you do qualify in and you don't see your return on investment with this, you get a full refund. That's right. We are so confident that this works for everyone that qualifies in that we have a full 100% refund guarantee. Secondly, our demo call is designed to show you exactly how the system is going to work inside of your business and answer all of your questions. So there's no pressure or any hard sell, because it's our job to make sure that we can actually help you do. So if it's not for you, no harm, no foul. And that's why the easiest next step is for you to click the link somewhere around here to book in your free demo so we can show you exactly how this system is going to work to your business. But we need to answer something right now. How do you actually go from where you are right now to the magical place of financial freedom that all of us are trying to get to? As I don't know what your version of financial freedom and security really looks like. Maybe it's being able to never worry about bills and money again. Maybe it's being able to go to Mexico for a month and not work for an absolute minute. Maybe it's being able to do school drop off and pick up and be there for your kids, never stressing about having to work more. Whatever it is, I want you to have it. And I want you to have that marketing system in help that makes that actually happen as well. Because my aim for creating this report and this training right now is we would like to give you the upper hand that is going to blow your competition away. Because we're not business coaches. We don't teach theory. Every day we are sleeves rolled up and we work in the trenches, building campaigns and funnels and strategizing, scaling 6, 7, and 8-figure coaches. And we have the data and real world feedback on what works today to shortcut the process for you. So we work as partners, working one-on-one with coaches to build and fully customize the marketing systems, because we know that's the only way that it's best going to get done. And I know not all entrepreneurs are ready for the service that we actually offer. But also, before we get into it, if we are just meeting for the first time, I'm Chris Dufey, and it was back in 2014 when I started my first successful online coaching business. And from the outside looking in, I was successful, but it was all a lie. I had started in a laundry closet. There was a makeshift home office. And back then, I had one daughter with my wife, and she was 1 year old. And I was desperately searching for clients, and I was practically begging people to sign on with me. And I listened to all the different advice that was out there telling me what I needed to do to build my online business. And what really happened was I ended up with a confusing mess of different types of funnels and ideas and just a never-ending to-do list that had me more stressed than when I started out. And it was hard for me to tell where my business began and my life actually was, because it was just together an absolute cluster F, to be honest. And I didn't have time to spend with my wife and my new baby daughter. And the reality of my life back then was I had an anxiety attack and I thought I was absolutely about to drop dead. So I thought it was a heart attack. I was being a shitty dad because I was missing all of the important moments. And when I was there physically, I wasn't there mentally because I was still thinking and stressing about work. And my marriage was on the rocks because I wasn't showing up as the man that I really should have been showing up as. And then finally, one night after we had put our daughter to bed, my wife came to me and we both collapsed onto the couch exhausted. And she said, "You're not being the father and husband I want to be with." And for me, it was that wake up moment. As she was right. I wasn't being the man and I wasn't being the father and I wasn't being the husband that I wanted to be and should have been. And that was the thing. That was the moment where I knew shit had to change. And my wife and daughter were the ones that were being hurt out of all of it because of me struggling and straining and not being able to actually succeed to get this online coaching business. My priorities were completely out of whack and everything that I was doing wasn't actually working at the end of the day. And it just had me getting more stressed out. So I knew everything had to change and it had to happen pretty goddamn quickly. Otherwise, I knew my marriage was going to absolutely end. And God knows what would happen with my relationship with my daughter. Thankfully, today, my wife and we now have 4 daughters. We now have multiple homes around the world. I don't work a full day and I wake up every morning. My team is running the entire business operations. I make a few million a year in profit and I actually enjoy the work and what I do and coming here. I enjoy being here and sharing with you the stuff that I know is working in so many of these other coaching businesses that we're working on. But importantly, I have the time and the space to spend with my family, choosing what I want to do when I want to actually do that. And I can confidently say that it's because I finally cracked the code to having a predictable and reliable system to bring in high quality leads and turning it into high value clients. And that's what I want for you. But to achieve that, you've got to follow like what I call the governing rules of coaching businesses. See, Mark Ford said that businesses grow in 1s, 3s, and 10s. And in over the last 18 years, I've been running coaching businesses. I have known this to be true. See, why we've created the 5-stage $1 million roadmap is because it lays out exactly each growth stage that are universal problems and opportunities that you will need to work on and solve to move to the next level. And it's dependent on the actual stage that you're at. Now, this isn't just a roadmap, but this is more a strategic, time-tested system because it breaks down the 5 core pillars to your coaching business, to my coaching business, to all the portfolio of coaching business we work on. Lead generation, conversion, delivery, operations, and founder. So let me walk you through how this process works. Between $0 to $35,000 a month, we call this the incubator, because it incubates you to be able to use the more advanced strategies to be able to have faster growth. So we call the phase $0 to $35,000 a month. We break it into 2 parts, $0 to $10,000 a month and $10 to $35,000 a month. So most coaches are overwhelmed when they're starting because they don't know what to do. And the truth is we all have limited time and energy, and you need to be able to work on the things that are best going to get you to actually get clients and cash now. So to go from $0 to $10,000 a month, we focus on the bare essentials to sign on clients and put cash in your back pocket. If you've made it this far, seriously, thank you. I appreciate you being here. But real quick, if you are a coach or consultant who wants to be able to build a self-growing business without bloated team, a big ad budget, or working more than 3 hours a day, then make sure that you hit subscribe, because everything I share here is built for founders just like you, because it's likely that you are done chasing bigger and ready to build better. So let's get back to it. So lead conversion, generation, and delivery. So think of it like lead generation is to get leads fast. You need a high converting offer and a 30-day quick wins challenge to make sure that you can get clients with zero budget, with zero followers. Conversion, our simple conversion playbook is so straightforward. I know a 7-year-old because I've shown my daughter and she's been able to follow it and be able to turn those leads into clients. And 3, the delivery, which is launching a hero program, which is the first phase for you to be able to get your clients actually winning, to be able to create a killer onboarding process to ensure that new clients get a top-notch experience and they're going to stay for longer. So the whole goal here is to get up and running fast and efficiently without draining your bank account, without getting stressed out. Because then to focus on 10 to 35,000 a month, we focus on those key strategies that are proven startup methods so we can grow quickly, but more importantly, start then overlapping the next playbooks. So then 35 to 100,000 a month, we call the step up. In this phase, this is about establishing systemized process that we can start having some automation behind. As most coaches dramatically change how they feel in their business once they get past that 35,000 a month, but they start hitting some key roadblocks. So the main mistake coaches make and why they plateau around this income level is because they aren't able to amplify their leads and sales, which is why inside what we do to be able to get that 35 to 100,000 mark is we tell our partners to strap on and hold on to the rocket, because at this level, when done correctly, you're going to see really fast growth and you're going to increase the number of clients signing on. Because we need to focus on the 4 departments for this: lead generation, which is a DTO, direct to offer presentation, and a top of funnel framework to actually generate high quality leads. Once we get that working, we convert them with a $1 million microwave and the 4P close system. Once we've got those new clients signing on, we focus on delivery, which starts to automate the parts of delivery so you're not just stuck in delivery the entire time, or you don't have teams stuck in it. But really importantly, now we can talk high-level operations. So we develop a scorecard and a communication cadence so you actually start to feel like you've got a real business growing and being able to operate with you not being there the whole day, and you can actually start to lean back. Then the grow-up stage, $100,000 to $250,000 a month, we actually start to call this the $1 million myth that I learned from a great friend and mentor, Alex Shafran. And the genius that he taught me is most people think when they get to $1 million a year, that all their dreams are going to come true and it's just going to be sunshines and rainbows. Where the real reality is that it probably feels like your business is actually stuck together with duct tape and string, because the business doesn't actually have the systems to be able to then go to the growth, where a lot of people get stuck around this mark. And around that $1 million a year mark, you typically experience the growth pains that actually need a different perspective to be able to go through. So which is why, again, like business grows in 1s, 3s, and 10s approach is so important, because the beauty when done properly at this stage is on the other side of growth is vastly more money and vastly greater freedom. You'll see the weight and burden fall off your shoulders and feel a sense of peace and quiet that you've probably never had in your business before, which is why we need to have those 5 accelerators now really working. So lead generation, we start tapping on workshops and then add matrix to be able to pull in leads at a more systemized and automated rate, be able to have a lower cost per lead. Conversions, we need to be able to have an ascension model and client system playbook. So you have, again, systems and automations that can handle that increased capacity. With delivery, because you've got more clients coming on and greater amount of clients on board, you need that client success system to ensure you have a repeatable process that's not dependent on you or a specific team member to have that. Because if you as the founder can step back and allow the system and team to do the heavy lifting, then the business is allowed to grow. Because with that to happen, again, you can see how this works together. Operations is we need to be able to have a hiring process to create and manage scalable process so your team can run the systems, freeing you up immensely. But then importantly, you as the founder, this is where we want to have an executive assistant and a 30-day vacation playbook. So we want to set up you being able to go away from the business for 30 days, not working in it, and it still be able to grow. Because then when we get to the scale up stage, this is $250,000 to $1 million a month. This is kind of like the final frontier before cracking on. This is where we can really turn your business from a $3 million run rate to an 8-figure juggernaut. But I'm going to be really transparent with you. I've had a lot of conversations with coaches to actually say, do you actually want to take that leap from 3 million to 8 figures? And they say, like, why would I not want to? And it's a good question, but businesses typically have to go through a drastic evolution here. And if not done properly, you're going to see your profit margins crash and you're going to see a ton of headaches with you as being the head honcho. because the 5 accelerators to go through this leap is we want market expansion. We want to be able to broaden our market to a total addressable market, TAM. Our lead generation and conversion process needs to have that world-class coaching team, and we need to have a multiple product suite as well, looking at what's happening with profit margins and COGS. Operations need to have an operator and a head of revenue. So again, we need world-class team members. But then you also need to have systems behind what are you going to do with all of your money. So the good news is when properly executed, you have this is a leap that few coaches will have, but there is the thing that you're looking for, the holy grail, the money, the freedom, all of that good stuff, and feeling like your business is bomb-proof, which I tell you the truth, when you get to that point, that's the feeling of security I think we're all really looking for as well. So to be able to make this actually happen, and after going through this roadmap, let's go through the actual 6-step RMAs, like the client on demand method at the end of the day. As the best way I can explain the RMAs is that if you've watched the Avenger movies, and stick with me, I'm serious with this, replace Thanos with you being the awesome coach. Thanos wants to take over the world. You want to help plenty of people. Now, where Thanos needs 6 Infinity Stones to be able to take over the universe, you just need 6 playbooks: the ad matrix, DTO Prezzo, new lead microwave, outbound amplifier, the app funnel, and the high converting sales system. But the real magic is we don't have linear growth. This isn't 1 + 1 + 1 here. It's when you use them together. When Thanos has 5 of the stones, he doesn't have the magic. When he has 6 of the stones together and they're working together, that's when he controls the universe. It's the same thing with you and your business. So without all 6 playbooks together, you have a frustrated coach working hard and not getting very far. So the key idea to grasp here is start by visualizing the outer edge of what this actual system is. Now, you throw $1 into this machine. And this machine pulls in high quality leads and converts them into valuable clients, right? The result of that is we end up with a stack of cash. You take a good chunk of that profit and you stuff it in your back pocket, and that's for you to keep. You take a small amount of that profit and you put it back into that system for us to do that rinse and repeat, creating a flywheel effect, which is why we can create such rapid growth inside of coaching businesses. So if you've got that, then let's actually start to build this thing. So the 6 systems we use to build and run this is system number 1, you need a cold to sold ad matrix. You need a system that gets people that don't know to know you into your sales process. But what's more important is you need the exact messaging and the exact sequencing that needs to be able to happen so that you can get people to stop, take notice of you, and to start to consume what it is that you've got. And we do this with a blueprint for setting up your ads quickly and making sure that we can have an ROI structure that fits in for what your actual business and offer is, with you only needing a small budget. I don't want any ad budgets that are going to make your sphincter tighten up. There's no need for that, because system 2 is $1 million microwave. Now this is, remember, the 7-11-4 rule. This is where we engineer consumption to make sure that we get leads coming through and they're consuming what they need over the matrix of different platforms without you needing to become some social media influencer or pumping out heaps of content. That's not the idea whatsoever. Because the side effect of you not having this is where leads aren't booking in calls with you. This is when leads start to ghost you. This is when they start to say, oh, I have to think about it, or you get money objections on sales calls. Because when you have that working, system 3, the DTO Prezzo, this is where you have a process to make sure that people know that you have the solution that they're looking for in the way that they want it delivered, at the deal that has them feeling like it's an absolute no-brainer. That is what we want, and we want to be able to craft that, because when we are able to craft a high converting DTO Prezzo for you, that's when sales calls start to absolutely ramp up. But system 4, the back-end amplifier, is the game changer, because you'll likely start to see a direct effect of leads coming through and they start to fall through the pipeline. You have all these leads coming in, but they're not turning into sales. Why? Because you're not engineering that 7-11-4, which is why the back-end amplifier ties all of this together. Because once we have system 5, the coach's app funnel, because look, fun fact, no one ever wakes up ever wanting, I want a discovery call today. I want a strategy call today. No, they want a solution to their pain point. And that's why we engineer the app funnel to get them to system 6, which is the high converting 4P closing process. Because if you think about McDonald's, for example, $1 billion business built on the back of pimply teenagers, because it's the system, it's the scripts, it's the actual process that they're going through that gets a near perfect result at the end of the time. So I want you to have a coaching process without you needing to rely on A-grade talent or paying for really great coaches that's just going to suck your profit margins down. And we want to orchestrate this all together. So my question for you is, do you have the time to figure all this out on yourself? And what if we just built and installed the RMAS method for you? The same one that's responsible for selling over $52 million a year in coaching, so you know that it works, and we could get it all up and running in less than 31 days for you. So let me walk you through how this actually works from right now. You're going to click the link to book in your demo. You're going to get a private training walking you through the exact timeline and process for you having everything up and running. As I am a firm believer that the law of constraint, which says that at any one major time, a constraint is slowing or stopping your business from growing. We define that number one constraint. Our job's to define it. Then we build and install the exact playbooks project by project to make sure that we solve that constraint and unlock the next level of growth. And we just engineer that process every 30 days to do exactly that. So if you qualify in, we guarantee that you ROI. So there's no risk for you actually booking in your demo call and for you to join. That's how confident we are. Because what we do is we work with you one-on-one. We do the heavy lifting. We do the work and we take it off your plate. Because we will refine your high converting offer. We build your marketing and sales strategy. We write the scripts and the frameworks. We build the funnels. We run the ads for you. We edit all the ad creatives. We write the email sequences. We personalize the scripts. We optimize your CRM system. And we have a private Slack channel and one-on-one calls together to fully support you. And we also hold the sales calls and close the deals for you. So I left that last one as a bit of a kicker, but we literally build and run the entire marketing and sales system for you, giving you everything needed for you to have fast and steady growth whilst increasing your profit margins and reducing the amount of time that you're actually working. So whether you have a team or don't, doesn't matter because we'll integrate in with you. Because we use the word partners consciously with who we work with. We work off performance. Your problems become our problems. Your goals become our goals. And our business is growing your business, which is why the very best next step is to click a button somewhere around here to book in your free demo. Because all of this is great theoretically, but you need to be able to see it on the inside, how it's actually going to work inside of your business. And to prove it as well, let me show you two multi-seven-figure coaches and what they've got to say.
Hey, my name's Xander Fryer. I run a company called High Impact Coaching. And I want to tell you about Chris Dufey. He has to be one of the most knowledgeable people in the space to help coaches build businesses. Now, I have a $4 million business. We work with hundreds of clients at a time. And I've been in the industry for about 8 years. So I've been very skeptical to work with people because there's a lot of crap in the industry. There's a lot of people that, kind of think they know what they're doing. And then there's people like Chris that actually do know what they're doing. Not only is he always up to speed on kind of the bleeding edge tactics and strategies that are working because he's working with the best in the industry, but he also understands the principles, the fundamental and foundational principles that allow you to build a long-term scalable business that can build you the life that you really want. So if you're a coach, you're looking to scale and frankly build a life that you have a bigger impact and more freedom, don't hesitate to reach out to Chris. He's just the best in the world.
I'm not one to put mayonnaise on stories and sprinkle herbs and spices on stories just to spin a good yarn, but Chris Dufey has genuinely helped me and my business to scale past 7 figures and beyond, from everything to hiring and firing, to systems and operations, to amazing marketing hooks that get people into our funnel, to hiring closers and setters, verbiage that you say on enrollment calls, to really having a heart-centered business as well, not making it just about the money, but also really genuinely caring about clients and customers and staff. If you are considering getting guidance or mentorship from him, I highly recommend him. He's been instrumental in my business. He's an all-around great guy, full of integrity, high morals, and I really support him.
So the best next step from here is to book in a demo call with me and my team. And so you know how this actually works and what happens on the call. We audit your marketing and sales process. We identify your biggest bottlenecks and we show you how we'd install and run the RMAS method for you. So you get off the call knowing the best steps to hitting 100 to 250K months or even higher. So the worst case scenario is you get the game plan, you see behind the scenes of how we're selling over 52 million a year in coaching. Best case scenario, if you're a great fit, we can build everything out, get started, and there's zero risk because we guarantee you ROI or you don't pay. And we have that 100% guarantee in place if you qualify in. So either way, there's no risk in you booking a demo call. So I'm sure if you're not a great fit or if you're worried about if you're not a great fit, book the time in. We'll be able to let you know even before the call. And after you choose a time for your call, we're going to send you a video showing you the timeline and pathway for how exactly everything works. And to make sure you're totally comfortable and confident, I'll even share what some of the most successful and top earning in our industry say about myself. As Sharon said, I'm one of the world's best when it comes to growing coaching businesses. Dan said, just work with Chris no matter the price. And that was before we even had this no-brainer of an offer. Ron said that I'm one of the best when it comes to building the business that you've always wanted. Xander said, I'm one of the most knowledgeable in the space for growing coaching businesses. And proof that this is not theory, one of our partners was able to add $100K cash collected and increase their MRR by $35,000 in just the first week. Another coach saying how this is the best thing they've ever seen set up compared to anything that they've invested in. To another that just did over $50,000 of sales in just one morning. So yeah, this stuff works. You've seen the proof. You know that this system is built to help you achieve multi-six-figure months. And you know that the best next step is zero risk for you to be able to book in a call. So just click the link below, choose a time, as we're here for the coaches that want to be able to focus on their genius and have a sustainable long-term growth without all of the headaches. So if that's you, choose a time for your demo and I'll see you on the other side. All right, that's it for today. And if this did hit home for you today, and if you are building a business that's meant to give you more money and more freedom, then I want you to be able to do two things before you go. One, hit subscribe and turn on notifications because it'll be a bummer if you missed out on everything else to come. Number two, grab the link in the description and be able to book in your free demo so you can see the exact systems, the exact process, and you can be able to install it inside of your business. Because remember, this channel is for coaches and creators who want a daily income, simple systems, and to be able to take time off. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.